Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Thanks for staying with us here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into Newsflash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, folks, Papa Pafi, and I want you to go into any of the branches that we have in this country and do business with us. Franco Trading Enterprise is giving you an opportunity to enjoy some discounts as well. So yes, it's very, very necessary that you go in there and get your phones, your laptops, your iPads, your CCTV cameras, your televisions, anything gadgets is Franco Trading Enterprise, the very best on the market. You can always get. Don't forget to call us on 0246-422-338. You can also call 0555-9393-11 or 030-225651 or download the app, the Franco Trading app, and you can also go on our website www.francotrading.com, and you can also get all the info you need over there, the numbers you can call, the items we have for you. In fact, everything you need, just download the app and go on our website and you can get all of that over there. Franco Trading Enterprise says still, folks, Papa Pafi is the best on the market, no doubt about it. And we're hoping, and expecting you to also walk in and grab something for yourself. Newsflash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. And this morning, we're looking at the World Bank reports, which states 56.4% of Ghanaians are still in poverty. And if you're looking at, the progress made so far in terms of recovery, yes, they are back in the recovery process that we've seen so far, but they are also looking at the other side of it, which means that, we need to add up to whatever it is that we're experiencing as a country in terms of how the people, enjoy the recovery process that we're going through right now. We're going to be looking at that issue, and also we'll make time to take a look at the OSP who's been speaking on the issue of the energy situation. Kwame Jantuah and 4 others have all, been named as persons of interest in that Asante Beko case, and we'll be looking at that also here on the show as well. So yeah, joining me this morning is the man who has refused to grow, and who has refused to grow. Well, Kwame Jantuah is here with me this morning, and he's not growing. In fact, he's making some calculations for himself, and he's grateful for how refused to be growing he's become over the years. So yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you.
It's
been morning. It's been a while.
It's
been a while. But I want us to deal with Master Planner. How does it deal with Master Planner? And I'm glad he listens to me.
He does. Master Planner does listen to you for the past how many years that you've been on this platform. He's always been listening to.
On this platform, haven't I said President Mahama should be ruthless with Galamsey?
Yeah, you've even said that you should ensure the military people just, even
shoot to kill.
Exactly, yeah.
Read this. Read this.
There you go.
What does it?
So this one says, Kwame Jantuah calls for a 3-year ban on all forms of mining to combat Galamsey. And this is a report that was made by Ghana Web. And yes, private legal practitioner Kwame Jantuah has called for a complete 3-year ban on all forms of mining in Ghana as a decisive measure to address the country's illegal small-scale mining crisis, popularly known as Galamsey. And this was the 20th of August, 2026.
How many days?
Yeah. This is just quite recent.
Recent?
Yeah.
So Master Planner. He said my mouth is full. What is my mouth full of? What kind of fool? I've been talking about Galamsey, and I've said it will be a blight on President Mahama's legacy if he's not ruthless and deals with Galamsey.
Yeah.
Because it affects everybody. There are 2 sides to Galamsey. There's the operational side and there's the side that is affecting all of us. And no president can come in and say he's pussyfooting around Galamsey. Yeah. I even asked the question, how do politicians finance themselves? They should tell us.
Yeah.
Electoral Commission has a duty to ask those questions. How do they finance themselves? Yesterday, I asked one MP, I don't want to mention his name, when I was on GTV. and we were talking about Galamsey. I asked him, so, Honorable, how do you finance your campaigns? He was quiet.
They can answer.
He can't answer.
Yeah. He can't answer. Because if you look at the amount of money that being used to do these campaigns and all of that. In fact, I was with
more money.
Captain Prince Kofi Anwabin was also mentioning the same thing. He was asking questions about how much you need to invest into an elections, and when you win,
for what?
How you need to get those money back at all costs.
For what? But you see,
because you've picked up from somewhere.
You know where the problem is? The problem is us. The problem is us.
We put them there.
We put them there. We put the pressure on them. We put the pressure on parliamentarians. We put the pressure on, a politician to give us before we vote. And the parliamentarian's duty is not to do development. His is to legislate and help those things that need to be developed in this country, bring it up so that when laws go to the president, he can sign to those things. That's all. But we put pressure. When you hear parliamentarians talking and the kind of demands that they get, they say, where are we getting the money from? But we have to get it.
Yeah, because you'll be taken out of the...
So we are part and parcel of the problem. Let's start questioning ourselves. One finger is pointing at the politicians. 3 fingers are pointing back at us. What are we doing to put the politician in that position? And he doesn't want to lose. So he will do anything. Even if he doesn't want to do it, he will do it to make money. And that goes to the crux of corruption. Galamsey is corruption. It goes to the crux of corruption.
But look, how did we even get here? The way we're looking at our elections right now and how much you need to put into it. I don't know in terms of, 10, 15, 20 years ago, how these things were done. How did we get here?
If political parties will speak with one voice, all political parties will speak with one voice.
Now we're not giving anybody...
I say we are not giving anybody any money. It's your right to vote. That is your right to vote. But nobody should come and ask for any money. It could change. But we, they call it what? Transport money.
Yeah.
And that transport money sometimes is not, 50 cedis. That transport money sometimes can be huge. And
we've seen 2,000, 3,000.
Yes, and they will tell you, where the way they buy,
compared to the others.
Yes, compared to the others. And then you get politicians themselves giving them goods, property, televisions, this, that. For what? If you feel you have the wherewithal to be a parliamentarian, to be in politics, and you have the wherewithal to win an election, don't buy it. Do not buy it. But that is what we do. So they have also taken it up. In my father's days, you dare not. You dare not.
And I'm asking
it was clean.
Why did we, push ourselves to
materialism came in, and it is linked to the World Bank thing they're saying today. That 56.4% of people are poor. No jobs. No jobs. People need to eat, and people see the nice things, and people see politicians, and this is why I was dead against the motor rider in front of ministers when President Akufo-Addo agreed for it to happen. Are we not all Ghanaians? Don't we put the politicians there?
Yeah.
Why should they feel better than us? Why? If you have an appointment, leave home early. Am I not here?
Yeah.
You know what time I woke up? Because I need to be here at a certain time. I don't need a police motorcade to take me through traffic, to take me to where I'm going. Sometimes it could be important, but that should be in a pool, and you've got to request for it. But it shouldn't be a standard thing. When President Mahama came, I thought he was going to abolish that thing, but it's still going on. I'm dead against it. I'm really dead against it, because you come into public service to do what? To serve.
Yeah.
And you've got to serve with discipline. You've got to serve with discipline. When you go to other countries, parliamentarians and politicians are in the same traffic as everybody. Some countries, they take bus, they take tube.
But they go there all the time.
They see it?
They see it all the time.
I remember once, President Mahama wasn't president then. I think he was minister or something. And I was coming up You've been to London.
Yeah.
You've been to Oxford Street.
Yep.
You know the Marks and Spencers just before Marble Arch Tube Station. I saw President Mahama walking. I saw President Mahama walking. He had no bodyguard. He could have had some bodyguards around, but I wouldn't see them. He was walking. He was going into Marks and Spencer.
Free life for everybody.
Free life for everybody. What is so different in Africa that we need to do these things? Why?
It's the lies and the corruption.
And you see, once they are no more in office, then they come back to normal, and it becomes.
And they're comfortable.
Some are, some aren't.
Whoa.
Some are, some aren't.
But then you don't have a choice.
Well, if you're able to stick to how you are, you've been given a position, you are there to serve, you do your service and then you leave, you'll be fine. The other thing is that a lot of politicians that come into power or come into the political scene, some of them do not have jobs that they can go back to.
Okay, that's another issue.
So let me give you a question. I'm not slighting anybody. Say I'm a teacher in Aswanse, and I stand for the Aswanse constituency and I win. I was a teacher, and then my party doesn't come back in the next 4 years. Will I go back to teaching? I won't. I won't.
You're already on the political trail.
Exactly. So because of that, sometimes I will try as much as possible to amass as much money as I can, because I know if my party doesn't win,
you still have to have life
going on. And how do I handle that?
Yeah.
How do I handle that?
You find dubious means to make more.
Yes, these are some of the things we need to look at and talk about. And Galamsey isn't a way out of that. You see, unfortunately in Ghana, we want shortcut quickly. So even if you say your motorbikes on the road, shortcut. Yeah. They can't wait for the traffic light to change. They are going. So it is not only the politician. The politician is part of the population. When they are voted for, they go there. They are not different from all of us. It is an endemic problem with us Ghanaians, and we've got to be able to resolve that mindset.
Interestingly, Master Planner has come. I don't know whether to call this a rebuttal or an opinion, but he says, as for telling President Mahama to deal with Galamsey, it is nothing new. He told President Nana the same. Please, I'm talking about his health tidbits and the fire and the passion he uses to say it like a medical doctor. He should do it like he used to do.
Please.
Now he doesn't talk about dialysis and kidney issues and how people are suffering.
Okay, what was that referred to? That bit I talked about.
Galamsey.
It was referred to Galamsey. It's rippling effect, and the water which has been contaminated, and its effects on the body. I read wide, and the fact that I talk about some of these things doesn't mean I'm a medical doctor. I am not. Master Planner, I beg you. I'm not a medical doctor. I've never been a medical doctor, and I will never be a medical doctor. Please.
This is a general knowledge.
The fact that you're not a medical doctor doesn't mean you can't talk about medical things. If you've read wide, some of these things you can talk about. Yeah. And today, even with the kind of technology we have, information is very easy to get. Master Planner, I beg you.
And we all know what this Galamsey thing is doing to people out there anyway. Now, we'll be joined by...
Does he know what causes his headaches? If he gets headaches, Master Planner, does he know? I'm sure he'll go and find out. Same way I also find out. Weren't we in this country when ghosts were having two heads? When we said it was happening in the Galamsey areas. So what is he talking about? Anyway, who am I? I'm only a doctor.
Peter is here. Peter Kwacheka is here.
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
By His grace. You lost the other time. You were not in town. Did you travel outside? Or you on holiday?
I was in about the next trip. No, I was on a working holiday. No, not even a holiday. I was still working actually.
All right.
I went for a couple of events in the UK.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So very good morning to.
Good morning,
senior friend, and to all of you, and to my constituents at Memphis Central, and to the executives, and all of them, everybody watching us this morning.
But do you still go to the constituency? Are you almost every time there?
Not every time. Last time I was there at a funeral. Somebody I knew had passed on, so I had to go there. I went for 3 funerals and came back. So if not very important this thing, I have to be around here and help in the communication.
Do you still spend money when you go there?
That's obvious. You have to.
Even as a former...
Yes, people know that I'm always on the TV, so I'm part of the
system.
The system, the party, part of the government. So they will never spare you. Yes.
And if you don't have
If you don't have, well, you give what you have. But even whilst I'm here, still people call and it takes some things from me. And if I can, I do. If I can.
Why should it be so?
I think you see the conversation we're having.
Why should it be so? Why should we encourage it?
That is the system.
It's not the system. It isn't a system that works.
It doesn't work.
It isn't a system that works, but we tend to feed it. We have to collectively say, no, this is wrong. Let's stop it and create the kind of employment that would help them work.
Yeah. But I like the fact that I said collectively, because you can't also do that alone.
I wish.
Because the others will be doing it and you become the bad person.
I have said President Mahama should ban and restructure small-scale mining into cooperatives. If he restructures it, we shall all go into it, because there's a structure that you are following.
Yeah.
So they are following.
I think it's also
why can't we do that?
It's also talking about structures. Yes, we all wish that things will go.
It's not we wish.
Yes.
We have to.
We have to.
Not we wish.
Let me.
We have to.
And when you are talking to lawyers, I beg you. You see, I will also always say that the system. You see, sometimes I wish we could do things better.
Describe the system.
Yes.
Describe it.
Honorable was also seeing the other system. The other system that we are talking about, the West system.
Yes.
He has experienced it.
Yes. So what system are we talking about in Ghana?
Look, even in our elections, we can't always get the right people there. And that's why NDC has changed the delegate system. I mean, I think we are going to change it because of the ruling of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
That can even solve the problem a little bit. Because now, if you are going to stand for election, it depends, especially on the parliamentary side. It depends on how much you can give. So we don't look at the quality. So if somebody comes, he promises heaven and earth.
But say you won't give. Say you won't give.
Lawyer, he's going to say he won't give to the 56.4 people that are poor.
I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not,
he will not give to them.
Yes.
His
duty is to create the job.
I'm not trying to exonerate myself. No. But I feel that it is not good. But sometimes we all do these things, and you find yourself there. I wish it changes. And that's why I'm happy that if this time we are going to have elections in the NDC for parliamentary and presidential, we are going to do mass voting. Mass voting, it will be very difficult for you to go and bribe the whole.
Are you sure?
No, it will be difficult. Yes, I've been there.
Sure?
I've been there before. When I went to Parliament first, NDC used that system. They used mass voting. And there was no bribery.
But you can bribe those you can. So if you bribe 40% of
our area,
same issue.
If you go and bribe, and others get to know that you have bribed somebody, you are finished.
Which area? In your
I mean, like normally, if people see that you have given these people some money and they have not got, you are finished. You lose. And assuming if maybe about 10,000 people are going to vote, how are you going to bribe them? You bribe maybe about 2,000. What about the remaining 8,000? They will take you on.
So then don't do it. So don't do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it's
so if we're not all doing it, then it means that nobody will be tempted to give anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
But if I give 2,000, somebody else will give another set 3,000.
No, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I'm telling you. Yeah. So I wish things could change. Yes, and we concentrate on what is important. Like you tell the people what you are going to do for them. Somebody who can even come to Parliament and cannot even say anything because he's not, not qualified. But he will tell the people that I'm going to build you roads, I'm going to take you abroad, I'm going to supply you with cars like I experienced. I'll buy you cars, I'm rich, I will take you abroad. And the people will believe. Not taking into consideration the fact that if you go to Parliament, that's not what you are going to do. You are going to speak on behalf of your people. And if the person is not even educated, but he promises that he's going to do these things, people will take to it and vote. But now, if we do the mass voting, people are now going to consider many things: the way you behave, the way you talk, the way you have related with them. And no, it will not depend so much on the money like we have seen before.
Okay.
Yes.
Very well.
So,
I think we can dovetail that conversation into the 56.4% World Bank report that has come. And to quote what they said, and this is the reason they gave, it says a disconnect between the headline growth that is yet to reach most of the population. And it goes on and it says that growth is led by sectors with limited employment absorption relative to its growing young population. The entry the labor market in the next decade. And so they gave some few reasons why we're seeing things the way we're seeing, but they also believe that our road to recovery has not been bad, and so Honorable, since you're already on the floor, let me just start with you.
I wish IMF and the World Bank, they say these things in good faith.
They don't. Usually they don't.
Well, sometimes they are business.
I've seen people say that they make up the reports they do. In fact,
they are business
some
people.
NDC people have even said
they are business people, so they have to milk the cow. They have to make sure that every time they are into business. So if you are doing something right, it will not inure to their benefit. So they have to do something to make sure that you always told their lie and you come to them. You think what is happening now in the country, you think IMF, they are very happy. They are not. That's why they created a confusion.
Why should that be the case if a country's success should be a problem?
No, in business, you have to kill off your competitor. They are not doing anything surprising, because if you are into business, IMF, this is that you have to come to them for loan. World Bank, you have to come to them for loan. How will you go to them? You go to them if your economy is organized. If you are totally done, then you go to them. But if every country's economy is good, won't they be out of business? They'll be out of business. So strategically, sometimes they do these things to make sure that you are disorganized. And it is not bad, it is business. Business strategy. Yes, business students will tell you that you have to kill off your competitor. Now look at what is happening in the gold board. Yes, the confusion that they have created. Whereas we all know that gold board has stabilized our economy. Gold board and the Bank of Ghana. And yet they have created this confusion. So if gold board collapses and we don't do that again, we'll go back to the same situation.
That report is the creation of the IMF?
Of course, they brought that World Bank, central bank has lost money.
Yeah, but is that the case? Operational loss, if you want to put it that way. And so, if it has to reflect in the documents, then it has to reflect in the documents.
But the way they said it has created this confusion, and now people are twisting it to mean that gold board has lost money.
But they are stating their facts. It's up to you to interpret it the way you want to interpret it.
They know how you are going to take it politically. So this
is just a mere plain.
Why didn't they explain that, assuming the purpose of the central bank is to make sure that your currency is stabilized, inflation is down, debt to GDP? That is their main purpose. It's not a profit-making area. Yes. So how do they do that? Sometimes they use these strategies to make sure that everything is calm. Look, assuming they buy gold at $100 per ounce. Gold board produces and they buy it and keep it there. And the dollar is rising against the cedi. And they have to get dollars to stabilize the cedi. What do? They sell off the gold to get the dollars. And sometimes maybe at the time that they need to sell it, the gold price has dropped to $80 per ounce instead of the $100 per ounce. Are you going to sell it or not? Because sometimes we do business and lose some money to create something somewhere. So they sell this they sell this gold at $80 per ounce instead of the $100 they bought. But that's a loss. But in the long run, they have stabilized the economy, which is more important in the generality than keeping that gold there. And at any rate, this gold board, this central bank, since the inception of the NDC, have they increased their gold reserves? Yes. Have they increased their foreign reserves? Yes. So if they have sold some gold and made a loss to stabilize the economy, is it good or bad? It's good. And yet, they have created this confusion, and people may even call for the dissolution of the gold because they are so scared of Sami Jefi. Samuel is doing wonders there.
But Honorable, don't you also think that genuinely people are suffering?
People are
regardless
suffering.
of how much we've recovered the economy.
Well, the suffering will always be there. Look at where we came from. When NDC came to power, look, inflation was out of the roof, hyperinflation. So can you tell me that if that thing had continued, the 56.8, wouldn't it be 80%? Assuming the debt to GDP ratio had remained what it was before, and now it has dropped to 45, are you telling me that things would have been better off? People have been better off? Are you telling me that policy rates now has come down? If it had remained the way it was, things would have been better off? No. We are building a country, and we know the haircuts. How many people died out of the haircuts that they did? Many people died, but now all those things have stopped. It's a gradual process. So if you have been able to stabilize the economy, are we not happy with that?
Does it end there?
No. I've always said that this thing we are doing, the end result will be that we should create jobs. Yes, I will tell my party that no, that should be the end result. People should go into jobs, profitable jobs. I think many times on their platform I've said that. But the situation we're in, who would have the confidence to come and invest in that economy that we inherited, that junk economy, where every day the dollar was rising and every day inflation would do? Who was going to invest? Now we have a very good condition for investors to come in. Then that is the duty of the central bank, which we have got it. So now the next step is for the government to make sure that jobs are created. I've always enumerated some jobs which can create mass employment. I was in shipping, so if they establish a national shipping line, maybe PPP, we can create jobs. The ripple effect down there will be enormous. Airline, I always refer to my idol Kwame Jantuah. Even in those days, 1960s, he created a national shipping line, the airline, and the dry dock. These were jobs which would employ many people. You go to my area, they still have the Bonsa tire factory there. Rotten. We have the Abosu glass factory. Anytime I'm coming, sometimes I pass through there. You see the buildings and the rest. You feel so sad. These are the things I would encourage our government to concentrate. When NDC was in power the other time, Muhammad refurbished the sugar factory. And for 8 years, it was left to fallow. Yes, it was left fallow. So now we have come back. We have to revisit that one and make sure that that job is created and it's going to stabilize our economy. Because if we don't order for sugar, the amount of money that we pump in, I mean, the quantum of dollars that we use to create, if we do this thing here, in the first place, it will create jobs, people will pay taxes, and then we will get the dollar inside it, because instead of using that dollar to go and buy the sugar, that is the way you have to go. Okay. But now we have used the dollar, we have used the gold and other things to stabilize. Prudent economic measures have stabilized the economy. Now even the city is gaining strength again. Yes, despite the Strait of Hormuz problem there. So that is very good. But on the permanent issue, we have to make sure that jobs are created for the youth, teeming masses to have jobs to do. That is the best way to go. Very well.
I'll come back to you again. Let me have the submission of Lawyer Jantuah. Is the World Bank doing business with Ghana's economy?
You see, institutions like the World Bank have their own personal interest. But the fact that they have their personal interest does not mean that we shouldn't take in what they're saying as gospel. Have we done our own survey?
Okay.
Has Ghana done its own survey to see the poverty rate in the country? We haven't. But even if we have we announced it? Have we talked about it? Has it been a point of discussion where we're saying something needs to happen? No. So when IMF and World Bank and these international institutions come up with these things, it's news to everybody. And everybody jumps on the bandwagon and starts to discuss it. 56.4 is a high poverty rate.
Yeah.
Half the population, excluding children. half the population, the adult population. It's high. And there is a disconnect between headline growth that does not reach most of the population. And what is headline growth? Let me give you an example. So you have a shop in Makola. Growth rate, Ghana's economy's growth rate has grown 6% in 2025 and 6.4% in Q1 of 2026. So the shop owner is making money. But the shop owner is making money and not increasing the salary of the workers. The workers come back onto the market to buy. Things have gone up. That same salary is what the worker is using to buy stuff. So the little salary is depleted further because of cost of product. There has to be a linkage between people's salaries and growth. That linkage isn't there. And this is where government needs to do something about it. Now, the growth too is in sectors that do not create the kind of employment you are looking for. So, for instance, oil and gas, mining, finance, very small. But if that growth was in agriculture, where you can add value to agriculture, and even in the mining sector, and this is where I say, if Galamsey is structured and is done well, and now that we are saying that you need to add value to our gold, those who go in, will they not make money? Will it not now rise the growth rate in terms of people's salaries? And I believe that it is something we have to look at. We haven't looked at that. Look, for me, yesterday I listened to what do you call it?
Joy.
Joy. Joy.
Newsnight on Joy.
No, Newsnight.
Which one?
The one that Evans does.
Oh, okay, PM Express.
PM Express.
Yeah. The 9 p.m.
Yeah, the 9 p.m. one. And they were talking about the refinery process and what is required for that refinery process. And for me, the good thing about it was that I said to myself, at least over 100 years, we haven't been able to streamline the gold industry. It looks as if now we are going to do that. There are certain challenges that we need to be able to cover to actually get our refined gold in this country acceptable to the world. But you can see we are trying to structure our gold industry. But more interesting, it's not the big guys who are, the big mining companies that the concentration is on. It's on artisanal mining and how we structure that artisanal mining to bring in gold, and for those doing artisanal mining to also make money. Let me give you an example. When did we start producing oil?
2 years ago.
We discovered 2007, started commercial selling 2010. Now, at that time, because I was part of the CSOs, the idea was that within 10 years, GMPC will become an IOC. Within 10 years, a lot of Ghanaians will get into the oil industry. What has happened within 10 years? How many Ghanaian companies are actually in the oil industry? And remember, nearly 80% of the oil industry's expenses is procurement. It's procurement, where they can procure in country. We've been able to build some of the things that are required for the oil industry, but we haven't been able to go far. So I have said, and I keep saying, we are now going onshore. Isn't it a good idea for us to start building our own pump jacks?
It's possible. It's something.
Can't we do it? There's no country in Africa I know today who are building pump jacks for the oil industry onshore. If Ghana were to start Look at the number of countries within the sub-region that are doing onshore oil. Will we not supply them?
Yeah.
Will it not create employment? Will it not bring artisanal, what do you call it, people in, these metal people, to build these things? So we are now going to it. Should we not start even examples of it, try to build one? We are going to, what, order from America and other countries, whole, 200,000, 400,000, 500,000. If we were to build capacity in these people who do iron, build iron things, would it not help? We have a, what do you call it? And I'm sure President Mahama has brought it back to life, the Kwame Nkrumah shipyard.
Okay.
He's brought it back to life. Can we not even use that as a base to build these pump jacks? Can we not do that onshore? We can do that. Are we doing it? No. Are we marketing what is required onshore for oil production, pipelines and tanks? Are we marketing it to build capacity in all those people to start building those things? How many Ghanaian companies know what it takes to come onshore? Very few. Very few.
Why is the energy sector not pushing this?
Ask them.
Because if this is a direct employment like you've listed,
ask them.
Why are they not
You mean the
pushing
ministry
this?
or
Listen, listen.
Why are they not
Some of us
pushing
are
this?
talking about it now. You'd have thought they would take it up. But it creates employment.
Yeah.
It creates employment. For me, one of the areas where employment is key, it creates good employment, is agriculture. So I ask, when you travel from Accra to Kumasi, what do you see?
Trees all over. Bush, yeah.
Left, right, and center. Ask this man. He's well traveled. When you sit on trains abroad and you look at the countryside, it's all agriculture.
Agriculture everywhere.
Yep.
So
It's
beautiful.
all agriculture everywhere.
So beautiful.
But if you have a land tenure system that you don't want to bring back and make it right, how do you do that? Because there are certain things, certain produce in Ghana that can have medical importance. Miracle berry is what do you call it to Ghana? Ghana is one of the countries that grow a lot of miracle berry. It's good for diabetics. The medical field, they can go into it. Are we doing that? Are we doing the kind of research? And that is one thing we don't do. CSIR is sitting there doing what? Rotting away. And when you go to CSIR and you see some of the things they've done, they have no money to promote it. Even if CSIR itself had the funds to move what they were doing, it will help all of us. But where is the R&D systems in Ghana for all these products? Because when you go to a country like Brazil, where you've got an oil company like Petrobras, and you see their R&D, how big their R&D offices are, you marvel. And they do R&D to make sure that they can access any hydrocarbons anywhere in the world, even offshore or onshore. And Petrobras coming to Ghana today. Petrobras are coming to the Keta area, and they are going to mine there, they're going to drill oil there, because that area, when you look at the topography of the place, it is very difficult, and only certain companies can do it. But they have the equipment to do it, and they have the research to do it, and they have the capability and know-how to do it. Why can't we do that in Ghana? And that is one of our mistakes that we make. And you see, we tend to think immediate and not long-term. So we started the oil industry 2007, and we started commercial 2010. What was the plan? What was the plan? Where did we? Where did we? Do we follow it? Do we follow it? We have listen.
What's the sense in always putting all these things together?
We have all the laws. We have all the laws. We have even better laws than the UK. Why aren't we better than them? They're not implementing. I heard the Speaker of the House at a conference with regulators, I think in Africa, and he was talking about for regulators to do the right things, to put good regulations in place so that it supports the laws.
Yeah,
Can we implement That's where the question is. We bring the laws in. Do we implement? Can we implement these things? And the question is, why can't we implement? Because sometimes we don't have collective ideas to make sure that we can do certain things. Look at Gold Board. They are talking that Gold Board has made a lot of losses.
Yeah.
During the MPP time, Gold for Oil, did they not make losses? Did they not make losses? So isn't this a situation where both parties and CSO sit together and say, these losses, we're not going to have them again. We made losses here, we made losses there. Let's sit together and see how best we can make sure we don't. We play politics with it. How does that help anybody? How? You know, these national discussions should be done collectively, because it's to the benefit of all of us. If Gold Board is going to succeed, if GMPC is going to succeed, if Valco is going to succeed, if there are national, things that will help the country. And for me, that is where my argument is. It's going to help the country. It's not that the political party didn't do it or they didn't do it right. How do we solve the problem to help the country going forward? Cocoa. When you grow cocoa, you just don't grow cocoa on its own. You grow cocoa with plantain. Because of the water in the plantain tree, it waters the cocoa seedling. So in the end, what you get? You get a lot of plantain. Does anybody know that? And all that plantain goes to market. It goes to market. It just grows. And plantain is one tree. Once you grow it, it will always bear fruit. And that is food that goes into market. Have we even planned that properly? That's why I keep saying, and I'll continue saying it. And probably my brother Ishak's party will not agree with me. We definitely need a national development plan that puts all this into perspective. China, 100 years, a development plan. And you say, yes, their system is different from ours. But it has worked. It has worked. Lee Kuan Yew, what country was he? Singapore. Hasn't it worked?
Beautiful place.
So let us ask ourselves, this kind of Western politics that we play, is it helping us? Let's collectively sit down and ask ourselves, tick the boxes and see in the last, 30 years, how has this system helped us? And if it hasn't helped us, what can we do to either better it or to make things different? And stop playing the politics all the time.
Okay.
That is where the challenge is.
All right, thank you very much, Lawyer Kwame Jantuah, head over there. Unfortunately, if you look at some of the utterances, and I'm saying it in the back of what Lawyer Kwame Jantuah just said, collectively putting Ghana first and all of that. If you're looking at some of the conversations that have been going on the last 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks or so, in terms of contests, the NPP political party and what they want to do in terms of elections. If you hear some of the utterances that are going on right now, I beg to ask the question, if what you want us to do as a nation will be able to do it. It's an election, an internal elections that has been, characterized with an opposition attack. NPP, NDC this. When we come back, we're also going to do this. NDC has done this. When we come back, we're also going to do this.
How does that help
and
us?
I'm asking myself questions. And I know the NDC will also do the same thing when they get to the elections. NPP say they will come and do this in 2020.
But KMJ,
I don't know how we want to solve problems with this.
They work together. That's the irony. They work together behind the scenes. They work together.
Maybe Lawyer Ishak will
behind the scenes,
to that.
when it comes to their own personal interests, they work together.
An internal
Why
election,
can't they work together in country?
It's not talking about the internal elections, but it's focusing more on the opposition and what they want to do to the opposition when they come to power.
It is wrong.
And NDC will also go to elections.
And this is where they put the people aside. This is where they put the people aside.
Because really,
the people should be the ones you are targeting, not another political party.
I don't understand. Lawyer Ishak is here with me this morning as well. Lawyer, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Good morning to you, and good morning to our viewers, and good morning to my distinguished panelists.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, Mr. Jantuah have said a lot, but I think the main reason why he has said most of the things he said is the fact that I think the World Bank or the IMF is reporting that.
It's the World Bank report on the poverty rate.
56% of Ghanaians. And I think last year, when we're beginning to, when the government was beginning to give us figures that showed there was strong economic recovery, I don't remember, there was a prominent person who said Ghanaians do not eat figures. I think it's more or less reflect that statement that if the figures are good, that's not what we actually eat. And as they often said, the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating, not actually saying that the pudding is sweet. And I think that should be a very good guide for the NDC government. I want to tackle that, and I'll come to Mr. Jantuah, whether both parties can work in the national interest, of which some aspect is a good thing for us to work together. There are other aspects we may not be able to work together because you have a vision you want to implement. And by our tradition, sometimes some of these visions clash. So I don't always think all the time we can always work together.
Tradition, what tradition?
If somebody,
what tradition?
if somebody said they are socialists, and then even though in reality they are not really socialists, if you see some of the intervention, the NPP has even put forward more socialist intervention than them. But this vision sometimes means that it's a clash of ideas and we have to push.
You can still look at it.
Yeah, but the first part I want to mention that this thing doesn't actually surprise me at all. Because we are already feeling it.
The World Bank report.
In fact, the World Bank report and the estimate, what the real Ghanaian is really feeling. A few months ago, I had the opportunity going through most of the northern region. Northern region is of the Savannah region, the Northeast region, and Upper West region. If you hear reports from farmers, even the amount of money they have put in producing maize, rice, and other things. If they sell the maize, at that time, maize was sold in the market as 180 to 200 cedis. Currently, a maize or bag in the Northeast region is costing 250 cedis. Some of these farmers are not able to make a living at all. So I think it's actually underreporting, or it probably is old data, maybe data dating back to 6 months ago. The current reality is that the farmers are really, really suffering. For the cocoa farmers, I mean, you've already seen some of the few protests that we have seen. So if we are in an economic depression, or what we're facing in 2022, 2023, 2024, you would understand. But here is the case, somebody said the figures are good, that the economy is doing well. But it doesn't really translate into the...
Well, the World Bank also said the same thing. I mean, they back the recovery process.
And if you move from there to the cities, a lot of people are going through energy poverty. The price of energy is now so much that even lecturers, lecturers, teachers, nurses cannot even shoulder it. Some of the increases, they are more or less, let me say, unofficial, because they almost amount to energy theft. A lot of people have reported buying 200, 300 cedis worth of energy, and within 3
Are people still going through that?
Yes,
I think it was on a high a couple of months back, but I'm not sure about it.
I am still experiencing it. Yeah, I am. I'm a good example. I'm experiencing it.
You made a report.
Energy poverty.
I've reported that.
Energy poverty is a reality. So people, the IMF is using old figures. The current reality is that the Ghanaian is really suffering. But here is a case when they were in opposition. They marketed something the Ghanaian has bought into. Among research, the 24 hours economy. The Ghanaian youth are really, really suffering. They were told that they would have a 3-shift system. How are they implementing it? Only God knows how they are implementing it. When you listen to the communicators, they tell us that they have started implementing it by building 24 hours market, a misplaced priority. Because just like their E-blocks, these 24 hours market are future home for reptiles. Their E-blocks is now infested by reptiles such as the snakes and then whatever reptiles you can find there. The same way they are misplacing these priorities. So how how do you start building 24 markets? Now we are told by the Secretariat that it is not actually even part of the program. And if it is not part of the program, what is it? The other policy that they have put in place is the policy in the agri sector. They have implemented the Akukon Kitikiti program. Is this really a policy that can alleviate poverty among the people? No. I mean, you heard the report from the agri minister about 3-4 months ago. What was the report? Because before they implemented this Akukon Kitikiti program, we said this was a program for people to have pepper soup. And they said no. The minister, in his own words, which I'm surprised they have not even shuffled him or he resigned or them sacking him, admitted that people have indeed used the Akukon Kitikiti program as pepper soup program. Can this elevate the poverty of the average Ghanaian? So you ask yourself, since the 2 years they have come to power, you raised hopes when you were in opposition. And when you come to power, we don't really see the actual policies. Almost 2 years into power. What is the main policy that they can point to that has actually worked in reducing the suffering among the Ghanaian youth, for example? You don't see it. So this 56 is though I believe it's an old data, the current reality is that it's worse because the
what percentage is the current reality that we face right now?
Well, I have not done a study, but
then don't say it.
So why are you?
Yes.
Why are you not?
Why are you saying
I am feeling it. I am feeling it. I have just told you.
Who has done it in
I have just told you that I have gone to the Northeast region and I've heard farmers.
But that is you just going around and talking to farmers and they giving you a report of what they are going through.
Yeah.
Somebody has done an extensive research.
Without doing, yes, but you ask yourself, how long does this research take to release? And you ask yourself, since the time that they have conducted the research, what intervention can you point to that tells you they have done something about it? Zero.
The research just came out not long ago.
But how long? I'm a researcher. I've done research. The research takes time. It could be 6 months, 7 months, 8 months old data.
But it still doesn't discredit the fact that this is what they think that.
But we can know that there has been.
What you also saying?
I am in the system. No, I am in the system.
It's based on your conversations.
No, you don't understand it.
Okay.
The period between the research, when the research was conducted and now, there has not been an intervention to stop it.
What's the period?
And things get worse. There's no intervention.
It says it's 6 months before.
This is 6 months. This is 6 months.
Yeah, this is the period of 6 months.
When did it come out?
No, I am just saying research takes time. Usually 6 months, 3 months or whatever. And if there's no intervention that period, we can always only say it's worse because there's no intervention. If the patient is sick and you diagnose the patient is sick and you have not applied medicine, unless you are praying to God for...
but lawyer, don't you make the research come out before then? Now you see where you fall short and then you do the interventions you're talking about.
Oh, so an external body such as World Bank is doing the research.
No, but if the research is ongoing...
Government should have been given...
Government is not aware of the research that is ongoing. It's government aware of the research that is ongoing.
Oh my goodness, in that case we're in trouble. If the government is not even aware that its citizens are suffering and have to wait for an external body, it's your waste. You said the government is not even aware. Well, if you have a problem...
a private body decides that they want to do a research.
So let's call this private...
either suffering
let's call this private body...
And they are doing it on their own.
Let's call this
without informing the government. You want the government to go and ask...
Let me give you an analogy. Let's call this private body a doctor. And the government and its citizen is a patient. The patient will usually have the symptoms and the sign before they report there is a problem. And if you go to the doctor find out that you have a problem and you, the patient, is unaware that you have a problem. That's a dying patient. That is a dying patient. So we have a problem there. If the government is unaware that Ghanaians are suffering, that's why we pointed out to them last year that these were figures. And some people say people don't eat figures. We eat the reality of it. And if the government is unaware and we have to wait for the World Bank to tell us there's a problem in Ghana, then the economy is not in the hands of the right people. that means we have a problem. And to talk about Mr. Jantuah,
that's wrap up comment for me.
I agree with Mr. Jantuah that when you go to the advanced country, United States, Britain, Singapore, regardless of a party, they usually have a particular area they do not touch.
Yeah.
And I have always advocated for it. For example, when it comes to education and the health sector, we should have a policy congruent between all the political parties. Because with education, if we toil with education, you are more or less destroying the country. So we shouldn't play politics with those particular areas. But there are other areas that our vision can no longer reconcile. Because the vision is just so completely different. For example, if you believe that from COVID-19 that the priority should be in hospital because we had realized during COVID-19 that we had a serious shortage of hospitals in the country. And that government started building Agenda 11 hospitals. And we believe this should have been the national priority. And you have a reckless government like the NDC that thinks that the priority is to build a 24 hours market, which you don't even know which part of the world have you seen such a policy implemented. How can you reconcile between the two? One has a vision that takes the interest of the people. One believes in building infrastructure for building's sake. So how do you reconcile the two? Can we ask them to abandon it? We have told them that this is not a good policy for you to implement. Finish the existing hospital, they said no. So do you want the MPP to abandon our vision and then just agree with the government that you can just throw public money in those particular 24 hours market? Those areas we cannot agree. We have a problem. Because to agree simple means that you are complicit in their negligence the way they handle the economy. Those areas I will not be able to agree with them. But if they are able to take suggestions, like Mr. Jantuah lamented earlier, they are not even a listening government. You ask him, with all these ideas, why are they not? I mean, you ask him, with all these ideas, why are they not adopting them? He said he doesn't know. Ask those people. But it's not today Mr. Jantuah has been saying this on TV. It's quite a very long time. It means the people you have been speaking to, they are not listening. Because they
including your own government.
Well,
including your own government.
Because it takes the two.
Currently, the people managing it is the NDC.
Okay.
And 2 years now.
If you did what you were supposed to do then, they wouldn't have to come and do what they are trying to do now.
But the people of Ghana say, let's stop
working with party politics.
The people of Ghana
work with Ghana.
Into their campaign
Ghana first.
Research. And they have given them the power. And what have we seen so far? We are seeing formatting. There's no research. We have seen continuous formatting in every area. That is why this report is painting a very bad picture.
Okay.
If it is research, we understand.
Lawyer Isha, thank you very much. Let me move on to.
I have about 2 minutes. Yeah, I think Lawyer Isaac, I believe you're a lecturer also, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a lecturer.
Oh, sometimes lecturers, academicians, you need to be a bit circumspect because he's too political. You know the way myself and Jantuah,
he's representing a political party.
Oh, but at least he should be factual. He should be a little factual.
If you know it's not factual,
please.
You said it isn't right.
Yes,
you said it isn't right.
Let me speak. You see, when they speak like this, it makes you also go political. Look, he's talking about e-blocks, which has become the sanctuary. Whose fault? He should ask himself, whose fault? You left this to rot in the bush for 8 years. And now you have come here.
Did you hear that? They built them in the bush.
Of course. If you build a school, you go and put it in the town center. Don't you get a land outside to put a building and you left it there to rot? And now you have come here to talk about this. You are talking about hospitals. Which of the hospitals do you continue? The NDC. You put down a hospital in order to build something, and you left it there. Look at the money you spent on the cathedral. and you come here and sit and talk about these things. I mean, it's an indictment on you. But let me quote something. That's why I've said that we must be a big this about this IMF and World Bank. They are business people. So sometimes you have to look at it and say, well, I quote here.
Yeah.
While multidimensional poverty has shown a general downward trend. Ishak, are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
Over recent years, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, a recent August 2026 report by the World Bank highlights that 56.4% of Ghanaians still live in poverty. Still live in poverty. But they forgot to tell us that it has seen a downward trend. Where was it? And how is it now at the same time? So you have to do it. It is not the NDC which has created this poverty. You created it, and now the report says that it's showing a downward trend. Hold on, it says overall trend, deprivation and multidimensional poverty rates have decreased across all 16 regions compared to earlier baseline figures from 2020, with hundreds of thousands of people moving out of poverty. Why didn't you talk about it? You're a lecturer. These are the things you have to talk. And we know that, oh, this man is teaching our children something. But you come here and just stand on the World Bank 56.4 and then run away with it. Why didn't you go here to tell you that it's on downward trend? And so across all 16 regions, poverty rates are going down. It is not I saying that. However, like Mr. Jantuah said, our problem we have is that we are not creating jobs which have a large base. Our growth depends on the oil sector, the gold sector, and all this.
The day they collapse, those two places collapse.
Yes, we have seen growth.
We're in trouble.
So you can't deny that. It is up to us to make sure that we create jobs in the other areas, which you didn't do. At least we inherited a junk economy. What are you talking about? Within 1.5 years, we have taken this junk economy into a place where we are much respected. The World Bank, you talked a lot. They spoke about it, that even though the economy has revived, if the economy has revived, what does it bring along? Doesn't it remove poverty? Doesn't it remove price escalation and all those things? And these things are happening, but they will not happen at one go. No, it will take some time because of the dungeon you put us in. Now we are coming out of it.
Let me get some message.
Kenji, before you go to the messages, have you seen the study? And this is why I call for a complete ban on artisanal mining and what you call it, Galamsey, for at least 3 years to structure it. Go and read the report on women in small-scale mining battle poverty, health and reproductive risks. Go and read it.
The women who are also involved.
Yes. And these are artisanal miners. They have license. And look at what they are going through. Go and read it. That's why I say it should be banned for 3 years, restructure it, and do it properly. And it's equally, in banning it, is equally a state of emergency to ban it. Structure it properly. If you don't, look, the entire Ghana is covered in gold. #1 in Africa for deposits and production. #6 in the world for deposits. So people won't stop. But structure it well. President Akufo-Addo tried it. What happened? When he tried it, you could see some improvement. What happened? Politics came in, so he had to give up. We cannot. I'm saying, I want a president who will come and say, I don't care whether my party wins the next election or not. I'm going to scrap this thing, and I'm going to do it collectively with the chiefs, with political parties, with CSOs, with the private sector, with everybody who can bring their knowledge to this thing. Let's sort it once and for all. Today, the army have been able to clear the Accra Kumasi.
What an impressive job.
Are you trying to tell me that they can't do Galamsey and clear Galamsey?
Oh, they just take them there and they will stop.
Let's ask the politicians how they are financing themselves.
Okay,
and start from that place.
Now, just some small messages and then we'll probably say goodbye for this morning. Now, Nana Kojo says the economy is very good. We Ghanaians are very okay. That's Nana Kojo Hasari on Facebook messages. St. Laurie says, can't World Bank leave us alone? Chasama Koine says, stop the Galamsey now to save our waters and the environment. And Danny Sequence says, that's the reality Ghana is facing now. No unique voice. And this one's name is in Chinese. I don't know how to pronounce that, but good morning, Joy Prime. Press Now says, good morning, I'm watching you live from Osu. And Awuja K. Delali says, watching you live from Brekum, great job. And Emil Smith says, KMJ, just put my name over there. Praise Sebastian says, good morning, everyone. Yakubu Mitchell says, good morning, Joy Prime. I've got another one over here. Akwasi Garba from Tamale says, Galamsey has become worse in Ghana because of people.
That's not new. That's not how they spell my name. If you spell my name right, that's not me. That is not me.
Exactly.
Spell my name right. Jantuah. It's not
for
me.
Your information, this is not his name.
That's my name.
Okay, right.
So if they refer to somebody else, they should refer to that person by law.
Professor Jantuah, the selective justice of the NDC government, lawyer Jantuah and Professor Jantuah were in support of the state of emergency of Galamsey during the 2024 elections. What has changed? And the same people have stopped calling for the state of emergency of Galamsey in this current government. Sadly, hypocrisy and dishonesty will destroy this country. My regards to alleged Some people just says the fight against illegal mining, Mahama and the NDC have disappointed and failed the good people of Ghana. In opposition, some people like Sam George told us they would eradicate Galamsey from the system within 2 weeks when they come to power. A few moments they came to power. Mahama also told us and admitted that his party members are engaging in illegal mining across the country and not knowing the Galamseyers are serving the gold ball with gold. And this current government led by Mahama has not even arrested any of his members engaging in Galamsey. And today, see how Gargantuan $1.7 billion losses in gold boss. Nasikano Wahe, a government that cannot implement its flagship policies, talk of 24-hour economy. From the 133 Women's Bank, talk of automatic posting, talk of cancellation of leisure exams, talk construction of boreholes with polytanks across cocoa farms and many more. 2028 is not too far. Regards to Dr. Baumia, the next president. All right, let me go to the next one. Good morning, KMJ. I'm not surprised with the report of the IMF's World Bank as far as poverty level of Ghanaians are concerned. This government is doing everything possible to make the country economic outlook look good on paper. Yet the citizenry are suffering. December last year, teachers in the country wrote their promotion exams and the results released in May this year. As we speak, those teachers who passed the exams are still not being put on their salary scales. Meanwhile, during the last administration, as soon as results are released, all those who went through successfully are placed on their rightful salary scales alongside the arrears. So why is this government not doing exactly what the previous government was doing? Yet they keep on saying inflation is in a single digit, yet teachers cannot put on their salary, their rightful salary scales 4 months after the release of their results. And that's Haj Endi. All right, let me go to the next one. Now that we know, according to the BEOG IMF report, the Auditor General's reports, the gold board isn't responsible for over 1.7 billion loss. So please, can someone explain the meaning of extortionist to me? I'm just curious, especially because I want to use the right word for someone who is begging me for help. Tell Karima I need, okay, this I'm sure was yesterday, but the mischief over there is what what is going through my mind right now? Good morning, I'm Okai from Bantama in the Sydney West District. The Bank of Ghana has reported 1.7 billion loss, and the controversies surrounding it have brought several important institutional issues to the fore. In my view, these developments underscore the need to re-examine and strengthen the institutional safeguard surrounding presidential authority, particularly to ensure that the central bank can exercise its mandate with greater operational independence, credibility, and accountability. All right, so those are some of the messages that we've sent to us. One of the biggest problems facing our dear nation is the hypocrisy by most of this so-called media houses and journalists who sees nothing wrong with this incompetent, clueless NDC government, and we're on top of their voices during the NPP government. As this bio from the Fiamma Busi Isa constituency in the Upper West region sent in that one. Okay. Master plan. Galamsey is now fighting President Mahama and his NDC government. Where is the AI he promised to use in the fight against Galamsey? Galamsey is now worse than ever in the history of Ghana. Joseph Yamin and Abanga are still walking freely. How far with their investigations? Selective justice at play. Just gives time some time. My uncle lawyer Kwame Jantuah, good morning.
There's H at the end of my name.
Do I have some more? Okay, teacher could just interpret. So says propaganda, lies, and scamming are the strengths of the NDC. What has the NDC done for Ghana in these nearly 2 years? Instead of focusing on the real development needs of the country, Ghanaians continue to hear excuses, political rhetoric, and promises. The NPP is coming back to develop Ghana for us, create more opportunities, strengthen the economy, deliver the progress Ghanaians deserve. The time has come for Ghanaians to demand accountability, compare the records of both parties, and choose the leadership that can move the country forward. Greetings to Dr. Baumia. Some point, JFK, and NLP. All right, is that all? One of the biggest, I think I've read this, I've done this message already. All right, so pretty much that will be all for the messages this morning as well. We have to go. That'll be our time for this morning. But a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Phones, you can't do 1 minute for me. Your concluding messages will be.
No, we can do.
Okay, you can do 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Guys, I'll have 1 minute for each of them, please.
Okay.
Is it possible? Okay.
Yes. So when we
Ishak, I thought we can't do 1 minute.
Time him.
Ishak was late and he was the 1 minute. He was the 1 minute than those who were here earlier than him. But anyway,
they've had a good bite.
No.
You also did. You also did. I think you also did. Yes, but I'm grateful to all of you for your time this morning.
Okay.
Lawyer Ishak Ibrahim joined us here on the show this morning. He's a lawyer and a member of the NPP communications team. And also Honorable Peter Kwachiakwa is the former MP for Amenfi Central. He loves engineer. He loves that place so much. He loves Amenfi Central so much.
And a member of the Damage Party.
Lawyer Kwame Jantuah also joined me this morning. He's a lawyer and energy analyst, a very good friend of Master Planner as well. Anyway,
I'd like to see Master Planner.
Oh yeah, sure. Very interesting guy. Well, let me say a very good morning to Mr. Kwame Andrews of the 5th Battalion Infantry. Yesterday, I spent my time with an old soldier, a military officer, talking about the coup. We spoke about a lot of things. You know, it was from one captain to another army officer yesterday, from Captain Prince Kofi Amoabeng, spending time with him, listening to him talk about J.J. Rawlings and the coup and everything. And then I move on to another military officer again. And so, very good morning to you, Mr. Kwame Andrews of the 5th Battalion Infantry. It was really good listening to you yesterday. I had a really good time. Anyway, so that's our conversation this morning here on the show. There's still more coming up. Peshedo has got conversations on your Throwback Thursday. Like Mensa is going to be our guest. You want to be a part of that conversation. And Cove City, or Cove Town if you want. We're coming to Cove Radio tomorrow. That's where we'll be running the morning show from. And it's the community tour, the Joy Prime community tour. So we'll be in the market space. You know, it's just opposite the Total 2 filling station. That's where we're going to be, the Suhum Lorry station. Please come around, ask the questions you want to ask. We'll bring the authorities there for them to answer to the questions you want them to answer to. So yeah, we can't wait to see all of you. My name is KMJ.
Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fie.